Alright, just for fun, or not so fun as the case may be. Let's say that our reality was infested with devil worshipping satanic douchebags. What kind of world would we have, or what kind of world would they be looking to build? First of all, being devil worshipping satanic douchebags, they'd be totally down with abortion. Because what better insult to God is there than never having a soul that was meant to be on this earth be snuffed out before it had an opportunity to do so? They would also be totally into victimizing the innocent, especially children, because devil worshipping satanic douchebags thinks that gives them power in their spiritual realm. They would feel they had the right to lie and mislead us on a regular basis because they hold everybody else who's not a devil worshipping satanic douchebag in such low regard. Tramping on trampling on people's rights and treating them as anything but human or equals. Because in the world of a devil worshipping satanic douchebag, people are only seen as cattle to be harvested whenever they see fit. And if that's the case, they would want to mark and number their cattle so they could keep track of them when they finally wanted to punch their ticket. Then, out of boredom or just plain meanness, they would be cruel to what they consider to be their cattle and their possessions, because that's what devil worshipping satanic douchebags do. To them, that kind of behavior makes the nectar of life that much sweeter, or should I more accurately call it the nectar of death. Next, the devil worshipping satanic douchebags would probably create some kind of maze for their cattle to walk around in, and there really was no escape from it. And they'd point and laugh at the stupid cattle as they did the stupid things that were all induced by the devil worshipping satanic douchebags. Even going so far as to introduce a disease into the population of the herd in order to gain more control over it or cull the herd so that it wasn't quite so hard to manage. And when one of the herd stepped out of line and pointed out the fact that they were being treated unfairly, they would be silenced, eliminated, and made an example of for the rest of the herd so nobody else would step out of line. And even when some medical minded members of the herd stepped up and said, "Hey, we can treat this effectively. I've done it with X amount of cattle or X amount of people," as the case may be, they would ridicule, silence them, and even go so far as to ridicule and downgrade the treatment or drug that was available. Something that might sound like my clocks are wrong again, because they knew the whole time before they released this disease into the herd that there was an effective treatment for it. And more than likely, they were taking it themselves before it even came into public view. But in order to have their fun and do what devil worshipping satanic douchebags do, never said a damn word about it. As a matter of fact, they let people suffer and die to try and build their narrative, to cull their herd, to bring them under their control. And as a demonstration of their control, get them to wear masks that were completely ineffective for the illness that was infecting the herd. Laughing behind the scenes at how easily misled and stupid their cattle really are. Because that's what devil worshipping satanic douchebags do. Does any of this sound familiar? Or maybe you just prefer being one of the herd. who doesn't have a right to an opinion, only should follow orders and directions, and whose life means very little to the ones who are running the show.